7. Time for the Geek Show today with MsBehaviour joining us at Mohawk Studios in Wellington City this morning. Good morning to you, Ms. B. Good morning. And lovely to have you back on. And sadly, though, this is our second to last Geek Show.
It is indeed. This is actually technically my last Geek Show on Radio Wammo.
Yeah. So I thought it would be a good time to look back on some of the achievements of the Geek Show and how it's evolved and morphed as you guys have developed it.
Yeah, I mean, it's been from the very beginning, it's been a giant experiment about what you can do with the technology. So we started, I would say the Geek Show 1.0, as I call it, would have been all the way back in 2008 on Alt TV.
Yeah.
Where we ended up helping Alt TV build a website because they had a stream and they didn't have a site. So part off the back of that, we got a chance to have a slot to do something that Calvin and I had always wanted to do ever since we were kids, which is to make our own science and technology show. Because we grew up on Tomorrow's World with the BBC, and we were always, I just loved that show as a child, hearing about all these amazing new tools and technologies and developments in the labs and stuff. And when Calvin and I got together just over 12 years ago, it was one of the first things we talked about. So we had the opportunity to do our very own television show on what was in effect an indie TV station, which again really suits our whole ethos, because that's when people say what is Mohawk media, why the Mohawk, we always say it's the sign of DIY culture, punk ethos, doing what you can with what you have.
Yeah.
So we started off doing the show, and if you're interested in seeing the really early clips, you can actually walk along to our YouTube channel. We've got all of the podcasts from that first show are online. And we really quickly found that it was quickly easier for us to animate than it was for us to shoot it in a traditional way. And then halfway through the season, we got given a mobile phone to give away, one to try out, one to give away. And ended up making the rest of the TV show with a mobile phone camera.
which shows also, I mean, that's a further kind of development of that DIY, low cost operation, right?
Absolutely. I mean, we had no budget. We had 2 people. We were making half an hour of animated television in a week between the 2 of us. It was absolutely crazy. And I love telling people the story that the machine that we use, because people are always like, oh, well, you must have had really good kit to do that. And we do now. We've got fantastic equipment now in comparison. But the main production machine had a fan that was on the graphics card, held on the graphics card by elastic bands, which used to melt when it overheated. But we did it. We made a TV show.
Yeah.
So of course, after we finished that, that's when we started chatting to you, because I remember I was doing the MsBehaviour files, wasn't I? I was coming into the station and chatting about the columns I was writing at the Big Idea.
That's right.
And then we started chatting, didn't we, about how we could do one week of that and 1 week of the Geek Show. And then the Geek Show 2.0, which is what we've been doing together now for 4 years, I think, is I think it's been really exciting, this hybrid blend of radio, online, streaming, pictures, and podcasting, which, it's been a lot of fun, and it's been really fun to experiment with different ways of making it.
Yeah, and the feedback that I've often gotten from listeners is, how people enjoy getting the practical tips from week to week about what to, how to be more productive online, or how to learn about something new, and really finding out about those far distant corners of the internet, or brand new things that are only just evolving. And often we've seen over the course of the Geek Show things right from the beginning that were brand new, fresh ideas, and startups and entrepreneurs are now much bigger, or have been bought out, or are now earning quite a lot of money. So it's been interesting in that respect as well.
It has. It's been an incredible time to be covering technology. And just to say, we're not going to stop doing the Geek Show. We're actually going to be starting what we're calling the Geek Show 3.0 soon. but which is going to be more animated podcasts and tutorials and how-to guides. And you're right, I think that's something that people really respond to. We're lucky, we're geeks, so we're always looking around at new stuff. But because I've been online for so many years, I kind of get to know quite quickly which things are going to be big. It's just, and people say, how do you know that? I remember Twitter, for example. I remember reporting on Twitter, and I remember coming in and we were talking about it. And it's very simplicity, kind of through a lot of people. But like I explained to it, look how popular blogs have become. These are microblogs. They're even easier. And as soon as I played with it, it was just a gut feeling that this was going to be huge. And look at how it's played out. It's actually now affecting governments. It's affecting, freedom of speech globally. It's actually, in some ways has been a tool that has toppled governments. And yet it's a small tool, a tiny piece of tech that's super simple. So I've always said this from the very early days. I've been doing this now 15 years. I started out doing tech commentary on the BBC back in Bristol in the UK.
Yeah.
And I've always said it's not the technology that's so exciting, it's what people go on to do with it. And I think like other things, I remember one of the early things that we reported on when I was doing the MsBehaviour file still with you was crowdfunding. The idea that filmmakers were going out and they were fan funding films. And I remember really clearly coming into the studio and doing a piece about A Swarm of Angels in probably 2009, this would have been. Just look how that one thing has panned out. I mean, you've got Amanda Palmer, who's raised over $100,000 or more for an album. You've got a game that was recently on Kickstarter that raised millions. And now you've got the Pebble Watch, which is this digital electronic ink watch as an interface between your mobile phone. I think they're about to hit about $10 million of funding that they've raised through crowdfunding. So yeah, it's been really exciting to see how a lot of these things that we picked up in the very early days, how they've panned out.
And so you've already started work on the Geek Show 3.0, and you've started animating some interviews that are going to be coming up. And I guess this is going to be released solely on YouTube or other channels as well.
I think for now we'll probably be putting it out on our YouTube channel, but we are quite interested in syndicating our content out to more places. So the obviously thing is make a load of content and then you can look at places to put it.
Yeah.
But for now, keep an eye out on the Geek Show YouTube channel. But the one project that we've got coming up now, which is because the other thing we do on Mohawk is we are an animation company, so we're getting quite busy. It's the other reason why it's actually a good time to come off the live and do more of the pre-produced. But quite recently, it was Easter, there was an author who came across from the UK, a guy called Mark Stevenson. And he's written a book called An Optimist's Tour of the Future. So I went along to see him talk. There was a Creative HQ event that they were running. And we'd already decided that what we wanted to do was interview interesting people and then animate the interviews with them. And as soon as I heard him talk, I was like, I really want to interview this guy. So I dived on him after his speech and said, can we grab a quick chat with you? And one of the projects that he's launching, which we've got involved with, so this is coming later this year, is the League of Pragmatic Optimists. So this is a great idea. This is about the fact that it's easy when you look around the world and you think, everything's going to, falling apart and, things need fixing and people get quite despondent and down. But as part of what we do with all of this research is we're constantly finding these amazing technologies, these amazing science discoveries and reporting on them, which give me so much hope for the future. Yeah. So we've decided to get involved with LOPO, as it's known for short, and there's a Twitter feed at LOPOptimists. So we are the LOPOptimists. But if you walk on over to mohawkmedia.co.nz, you can see a quick animated clip with Mark talking about the League of Pragmatic Optimists. And if anyone out there is interested in joining, we've got a Wellington chapter that's going live in the next couple of months. And the idea is that it's a series of events where you can come along, you can talk about an idea or a problem or something you need fixing or help with. And then people can basically get together into groups and decide what can be done. And then it's going to be supported by an international network of people who are doing very similar things so that we can help make more of a positive future and we can help drive some of these good ideas out there instead of just dwelling on everything that's going wrong.
Well, right there, is a very warm fuzzy to end on, I think, Ms. B. I've certainly appreciated, personally, all your contributions to the show over the 6 years that I've been here at Kiwi, and also getting to know you as a friend as well, and I'm hoping to continue working with you further into the future.
Absolutely, yes. You're not going to disappear off to London. We're going to hang on to you. You're not allowed. No, it's been awesome. It's been so much fun working with you. It's great, and I'm looking forward to doing more. So this isn't the end. This is just the beginning of a new chapter.
Yeah, indeed.
So thanks to everyone who listen in, because I love it when I meet people that I mention the show and they're like, oh yeah, they tell me stories that they've heard that I've talked about, and that's what makes it worth it, is knowing that there are people out there who are listening, that they're going off as soon as they hear the show and they're having a play with all these tools and that we've mentioned. So yeah, it's fantastic. It's been great.
Wonderful stuff. Thanks so much, Ms. B, and we'll see you soon.
Cheers, Wammo.
And